I have access to over 130 ad accounts and I manage 50 of them with my agency AdBurgers. And we solely focus on meta ads. Yes, we have some Google ads here and there, but our bread and butter is Facebook ads. This is how I scaled my business to 4.5 million, my e-commerce business, my Shopify store. And I also went to Dragon's Den with my store. In this video, I'm going to tell you 10 tips about meta ads you need to know in order to improve and become a better advertiser so you can make more money with your business. Let's jump right into it. And disclaimer, I'm not using a teleprompter, even though English is not my native language, just because I want to be real with you. I want to have a real conversation and I want to give you the honest advice. Because when you read through a teleprompter and you read whatever AI told you to say, like, it's not authentic. So I'm not for that. I want to have a real discussion, even if 20 people watch this video. So let's start. Advice number 1, your structure is not the problem. I do 5 audits every single week, like minimum. Most weeks I do more of them. And most of the people that have issues with their ad account, they think that the structure is the problem. Should I do ABO? Should I do CBO? But all those things do not really matter as much. There are so many people, experts, telling you that you need to use this structure, this framework, or this framework. But the reality is that if your creative is amazing and if your offer is really good, then the ad is going to work no matter how you actually build it inside the ad account. Since Andromeda, the ad account structure is the least important level you should worry about. Don't get me wrong, in many ad accounts, I see a structural problem, but it's very rare. Like for 99% of you out there, structure is not your issue. Like your offer probably is the most important issue. For this ad account right here, for example, you can see that we have generated $1.9 million with just one campaign. That goes to show about the campaign structure. Stop worrying about that. Simplify your account structure and your results are going to improve just because you are going to be able to make better decisions inside your ad account. The simpler the ad account, the easier it is to scale, the easier it is to make good decisions and avoid bad ones. Tip number 2, creative is your new targeting. Right now, after the Andromeda update, everything changed inside Meta. I mean, not everything, but many things changed. One of the things that changed is that interest, lookalike audiences do not play as big of a role inside your ad account. If your pixel is new, if you're just starting out the campaigns, yes, lookalike audiences, interest tags, they do help guide the pixel. But for most ad accounts that are spending above 10K per month, then the interest is not going to save the day. The creative is what does the targeting right now. So if you show a person on your creative that it's older, it's going to serve to older people. That's about it. If it's going to talk in the hook, you're going to say, if you're a mom above 50, it's going to target moms above 50. This is how Andromeda works. This is how the algorithm works right now. The targeting is much more efficient this way. That's why Meta switched it. So you should use your creative as the new targeting. And whenever your ads don't work, probably it's not because of your audience. It's because of your creative. So be more creative to create better creatives. You get the point. So if you're starting your ads right now when you're spending less than 30K per month, then use interest. The interest is going to guide the pixel and help you optimize faster. But if you're spending more than 10K per month, I would say start going broad and stop worrying about the targeting too much. Meta already knows your targeting, already knows your audience. So focus on that and focus on the creative part. Stop worrying about the interest, remove everything, go broad. Number 3, and I don't want to mention that because 99% of people out there that are going to watch this video, they already know that. But you're going to be amazed about how many people don't, which is the traffic campaigns, awareness campaigns. Stop doing them. Like I audit big ad accounts, small ad accounts, and I always like at least in 50% of the ad accounts, I'm going to go inside and I'm going to find a traffic campaign or an awareness campaign inside. Stop doing that. It doesn't make sense for you to do that. If you want to increase awareness for your brand, invest the money that you're going to spend on meta ads on organic content. This way you're going to get free, in quotes, because you are not going to get it free. You're going to pay for the creator to create the organic content. You're going to pay for the video editor to video edit your organic content. But it's going to be authentic. It's going to be real clicks. It's going to be real brand awareness. With awareness, you don't buy that. There are a lot of bots on Facebook you are going to get a lot of bot clicks, a lot of bad clicks. You are not going to create awareness for your brand if you focus on awareness campaign. Although, if you focus on purchase campaigns and you only do those kind of campaigns, then your campaigns are going to be much better, are going to be efficient, and of course you can increase the spend, because on awareness campaigns, how much are you going to spend? You're going to spend $1,000 per month, $2,000 per month, $5,000 per month. You cannot go beyond that because they don't bring you anything back. But with purchase campaigns, if you invest 10K and you have a really good offer, a really good creative, and a really good product, then the campaign is going to bring the money back. It's going to bring you your 10K and then some. So you can invest more. Your awareness campaigns, you cannot scale them. So it's meaningless metric that it doesn't bring anything to the table. So stop doing awareness traffic campaigns, focus only on purchase campaigns. I'm bothered to be the one that's going to say that, but no matter how many times I say that into videos, people are going to keep trying to do those kinds of campaigns. Stop doing those kinds of campaigns. Now, let's talk about frequency. There are so many videos out there talking about the frequency inside your ad account. Oh my God, your frequency is too high. You need to change your creatives because the frequency just jumped up. And it's bad for people to see your ad again and again and again. It's not bad. As long as the campaign performs, the frequency doesn't really matter. It is a vanity metric. You see, frequency on its own predicts nothing about the ad. Nothing. It means nothing. If you have a really expensive product, then the frequency is going to tend to be a little bit higher to bring a conversion back. That's understandable. People need to see the same ad again and again and again. If you have multiple ads, it's not the same. It's much better to show one ad that's amazing multiple times than showing 5 different ads that are going to be mediocre and only one is going to be an amazing ad to show them like in different times of the day. It's not really useful as a metric. Stop worrying about that. And I'm going to go ahead and say that just hide it, like from your ad account, like the columns, hide it. Don't see frequency. Frequency doesn't really matter. Just because Meta gives you that metric back doesn't mean that it matters or you can make any meaningful decisions. There are many rare cases that might make sense to check the frequency if the ads have dropped, or if you check that for the last 7 days the delivery is not as good. Maybe you can check the frequency to see what's going on, but most times it's a meaningless metric that doesn't mean anything. Just focus on purchase, on ROAS. And whenever you have a really good ROAS, don't worry about frequency. Simple as that. So go right now, hide the column where it says frequency. And whenever you want to check why your campaign failed, only then open it up to see if anything changed. Optimize your campaigns on 7-day, 14-day and 30-day window. Check all the 3 windows. If the campaign is failing on all 3, then you close it. And when I say failing, I don't talk about frequency. I'm talking about the ROAS. Worry about ROAS. Number 5, Meta is gaslighting you. They are telling you about the learning phase. You need to break away from the learning phase or else your ad it's not going to have stability. I can tell you, I have access to 130 different ad accounts and I honestly don't see any difference between ad accounts and campaigns that have left the learning phase and campaigns that are still in the learning phase. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't bring any stability, doesn't actually improve the results of the campaign, doesn't do anything. I honestly believe that it is something that Meta adds inside your ad account to distract you or to have a metric that is going to say, all right, now we can make decisions. Maybe this metric is useful for Meta to optimize the algorithm, but for your ad stability, it doesn't really play a role. I don't see any correlation. If I saw any correlation, I would tell you so, because it's very useful for me to give you really good advice so you can take this advice, apply it, and when you apply this advice, you say, all right, John told me about this, so I'm going to trust John from now on. So I have nothing to hide by me telling you that learning phase doesn't play a role, because it doesn't. Stop worrying about this metric. Focus on optimizing your campaigns the right way. So what to do? First of all, give every campaign a fair budget in order to test it properly and give it some time. Stop praying about the campaign. Stop worrying about the learning phase. Just completely ignore it. And always remember that a bad creative doesn't improve over time. So if the campaign started poorly, and you've spent 2 or 3 times your CPA and you still don't get any conversion, I have to tell you that your campaign is doomed, your creative is doomed. You can try some other time after you fix the offer, but right now it's time for you to make some iterations. Number 6, are you using cost caps for your meta ads? Like hell you don't. And most of you out there, you shouldn't. Just because you can use cost caps doesn't mean you have to use cost caps. Typically, cost caps, what they do is they limit very much your targeting, because you're making it very hard for the algorithm to identify the right people to buy your products, because you add a very strict rule to Meta that is very hard to follow. So most times when you use cost caps on new creatives especially, and you have an untrained pixel, you are going to see that they are not going to get spent. Simple as that. Cost caps can be very predictable as ads. If you want to use cost caps, you need to use on old creatives that have actually performed really well. On those types of creatives, cost caps can be very predictable. If not, cost caps are not very predictable and they always try to spend more money than they used to. So if you use cost caps, you are going to see that Meta just ignores your cost cap completely sometimes. So it's not very predictable that way as well. So if you want to add it inside your funnel, add it with bottom of the funnel creatives if possible, and definitely add it with older creatives. Maybe a catalog ad can work with cost caps, but most of the time I would say that you are a business owner. If I'm talking to the right person, I'm talking to a business owner, I'm talking to a brand owner. Like, you should worry about different things, stop worrying about cost caps. Like, you are not going to improve too much the results of your ad account if you focus on cost caps. So stop worrying about that. Focus on your offer, creative. Cost caps are not going to improve your ad account, are not going to improve your results. Number 7, let's talk about creative enhancements. I know most of the people out there, they hate them, and for a good reason. They change the way that you actually intended to show the ad. So it's a problem. Sometimes I have seen them work better than not having the enhancements, but most of the times it is a horrible addition for your brand. You shouldn't use them, just all of them, close them off. And if you are bored and you don't want to actually go ahead and tick them one by one when you go inside your ad account and you launch your ads, I have very good news for you. If you're using Claude, for example, and you set up your ads through Claude, which is the way we do it inside our agency. Of course, we always check the ad account because it's better to check the ad account to make decisions. But when you launch new ads, when you use Claude, you can actually say just no enhancement. It's going to have everything off. And of course, the setup, because the videos can be uploaded from Claude to Meta really fast. You're going to save a ton of time if you do it this way. So use Claude to set up your ads. Stop using this dreadful, horrible platform because it's very buggy, it's very problematic. So stop using that. And of course, close all the creative enhancements. The best way to do that is using Claude to set up your ads. Number 8, your catalog ads are the most boring type of ad you can have and most likely your best performing one. But for some reason, most brands out there, they don't do anything about their catalog ads. They don't try to optimize, they don't try to create new sets, they don't try to actually break them down to see what type of product IDs gets most spent. And when you do that inside your ad account, you're going to identify that so many times Meta picks the wrong product to show first and to spend most money on. So you can simply remove that from the set and your ad is going to improve. So do more work for your catalog ads. If your catalog ads are performing, you can squeeze a lot of money from your catalog ads. And I'm not talking about you creating overlays for your ads, for your catalog ads using Markev, Pipe, or product like that, because they're expensive and you probably don't need that. But it's something that you can definitely try. It can help your catalog ads perform better, but you can squeeze more money out of your catalog ads if you work on that. So work on your catalog ads more. Number 9, guys, we're almost there. I want to talk about the pull list editing. The reality is that you can see this video right here on YouTube. It's probably going to have very few views because I don't have a huge following on YouTube, but on Instagram I have, especially in Greece, I have 40k followers. In my US account where I speak English, I have 4.5k, which is not a lot, but I started posting 2 months ago, so it's good for me at least. And the reality is that most of those videos, because this video is going to get cut and being shared as short as well, most of those videos where I cut a really good background with really good editing, they flop hard. But I do them anyway because I want to have more content. But the reality is that they flop hard. The best videos is the videos that I open the camera and I speak directly to the camera. That's it. It's much easier to create and forms better. So why bother with really nice editing? You shouldn't. Your ads should look authentic. So stop worrying about the editing. Stop trying to polish your ads. First, test the concept. If the concept works, it's going to work with poor editing as well. You need to iterate fast, you need to change fast. Now, if you have a concept that works with poor editing, yes, try with a polished editing to see if it's going to improve, but stop focusing too much on that. Quantity over quality, it's all that matters. First, you solve the quantity issue, the quantity problem, which is a big problem and much harder problem to solve, and then you can fix quality afterwards. Quality comes after quantity. So focus on quantity first. Stop polishing your ads too much. It doesn't really matter. You're thinking too hard and you're going to hurt your brain. And I wouldn't like that. Nobody would like that. Stop thinking. The AI can do the thinking, you can do the doing. Do more doing. And number 10, you have retargeting campaigns and you shouldn't have them. Just because with one campaign, you can do the retargeting and the cold audience and the engaged audience all at the same time. Meta's algorithm works this way. If you open a broad campaign with broad audience, you have no targeting inside, like everything by default, everything default, and you launch the ad and you wait a few days, you're going to see that when you break down and you check the audience segments, you're going to see that Meta is allocating at least 20% on existing customers. Why is that? I didn't tell Meta to do retargeting, but Meta does it on its own. So you don't have to worry about that. When you have a remarketing campaign inside your ad account that only does retargeting, first of all, it steals sales from the first campaign. So the data that you see from this particular campaign, you cannot trust them. Secondly, your remarketing campaign is causing you to be inefficient because Meta, when you leave it at Meta to decide how much it should spend on the retargeting audience, it's going to do a very good job actually, because its goal is to maximize the number of conversion. But if you miss sometimes and you don't scale down or scale up accordingly your remarketing campaign, sometimes you're going to see that your remarketing campaign is going to overspend. So I can bet that if you close the remarketing campaign, set up the audience segments inside your Meta ad account, and you focus on bringing really good quality content inside your main campaign, your results, overall the average results, so the result across the ad account, it's going to improve. Yes, you're going to basically close a really good campaign, but the results are going to improve. But don't do that. Never close a campaign that works. So wait a little bit until the remarketing dies off, and there is your chance to actually close it. Don't relaunch another remarketing campaign, just close the remarketing campaign when it fails. Because the main one golden rule for your Meta ads is you never touch something that works. Because Meta is very fragile as a platform, very unstable as a platform. So don't touch something that works. You're going to mess up your ad account, and if you mess up your ad account, you can contact me and maybe, just maybe, I can help you fix it. All right, that's it for today. See you in the next one.